Hello and welcome to episode 41 of the We On Sports Broadband Edition with me, Digvijay Singh Deo. Now, sporting bodies across the world are slowly starting to lay out roadmaps for the resumption of their sport. And in the case of certain sports like badminton, a revised calendar has been put out. But not every player out there is happy. And 2014 Commonwealth Games gold medalist Parupalli Kashyap is one of those players who is up in plans at the revised calendar that the BWF has put out. Kashyap now joins me from Hyderabad. Kashyap, thank you for joining me. How have you been? It's been a long time since we've actually met, and now even it's more of a virtual meeting than a physical meeting.
Yeah, it's been very long. Just hanging on there, trying to stay healthy and waiting for something to come up, like say our training sessions to start. So I've heard all around India, different places, training sessions have started. So waiting for it to start in Hyderabad.
But how has these last 2 months been for you, Kashyap? Over the course of this series, I've been speaking to a lot of sports persons, and one of them actually gave me a nice quote. He said, "We've actually been like caged animals at home." Do you feel like that as well?
Yeah, I would say that's a nice way to put it. I think went through phases. Initially, I was extremely motivated to continue my training. Just before the period the lockdown started, I was injured in Spain. I got injured and my back was hurt, so I just wanted to get back to fitness because 2 weeks I didn't do much. Say after the Spain tournament the next week and the All England Championships, I was injured, and then I just recovered, and then I started to train and get stronger. And the next 6 weeks I was grinding it out in the online sessions and whatever I could do in the week. But after say 6 to 7 weeks, I think the interest started dropping a little more, and I was just like, where are we heading to? It didn't seem like the goal is very in sight. I could not see anything in the coming few weeks or months. So probably my level of motivation to train every day twice was going down. It came down to once, and then probably once in 2 days or 3 days, I just maintain fitness for a week or two, and then again I'm back to routine in the last 1.5 weeks. So yeah, different phases, I think, but I think it should be okay because we have a lot of time before any event starts or some kind of decision comes through.
Also, Kashyap, perhaps one of the reasons for no motivation or the lack of motivation is that your wife, Saina Nehwal, has not been with you. In fact, when you all both came back from the All England, she headed home to spend her period of self-isolation with her elderly parents. You headed to your home because obviously for her and for you, the main thing was that in case of a longer lockdown, you have to be around home. And now nobody expected this to, sort of be 2 months and counting.
Yeah, we just thought we'll take care of our parents, and they can also be, they were also tensed about us. So we thought both ways it will work out for us, and we better go back home and live with our parents. And say in like a week's time the lockdown was announced, and then we just didn't get a chance to go and meet each other, and it's been that way ever since. Right now it's a little more relaxed, so we can take time out and go and meet each other. So that's the plan. Probably later today or either next week, we were planning to do that. Yeah.
Okay, but the larger issue here is you spoke about motivation, and it's not just you. I think a lot of athletes around the world who are used to training day in, day out, going out there, putting their blood, sweat, and toil out there on the badminton court, when that is taken away from you, that is a problem grappling with. Because here, as you said, you can have your online fitness sessions, but for the last 20-25 years, all you've done is go every day and play on the badminton court. Even when you're injured, you like the feel of that court. When that is taken away from you, is that something very difficult to come to grips with?
Yes. There's a lot of aspects, especially say for me, weight training is a very important aspect, and I'm not able to hit the gym, and I don't have proper equipment at home. I have very few things, couple of dumbbells and stuff. I'm able to maintain myself, but it's not like a proper weight training program I can do. Also, yes, you want to keep playing the sport. That's what we have done, as you said, and that is a big motivating factor. Ki, whatever we do, eventually, it will take time to get back on court and start the regular practice. We'll have to phase it out in slowly and gradually improve on it, because the initial few days, say after 3-4 months, the body is going to be extremely sore playing the sport. I have to be really careful. I'm not getting any younger, so I have to keep really a check on myself when I start back as well.
Okay, then let me get straight to the big talking point, which is this revised calendar that your world body, the BWF, has come up with. You've been pretty vocal. You and a lot of other players have been pretty vocal about what they have put out.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to start a discussion looking at the. I just tagged everyone on Twitter and see what is everyone going to say. Uh, no one's replied yet. I mean, few of us Indians have done it, but I tagged a couple of Danes and Carolina, and I was expecting a reply from them. But yeah, so it's a tight schedule, and say 22 tournaments are there. It's not like I'm going to play 22 events, but to pick and choose, say if I play 11 or 10 of them as well, the travel is extremely hectic. It's not like we haven't done it before, but it is extremely hectic. A little more now, because say if you're in the top bracket, say top 10, I know you're going to play the thousands and the 500s. 750 events, BWF Tour 1750. Then probably you'll have 4-5 events. But say if you are in the next bracket from 15 to 30, 35, then you also will be thinking of making it to the 300s and the 500s. And then you're in a you're stuck a little bit, because if you decide to play say 10 to 11 in that schedule, then it looks really tough to plan, because you have one tournament and then you have 2 weeks rest, and then you have 3 on the trot, and then you have a week's rest, and then you have 5 on the trot. So this looks really tough, considering that we haven't trained the last 3 months, and many European countries and Taipei and Hong Kong and China have already started practicing for the last 1.5 months, and some of them haven't even stopped even during they didn't have a complete lockdown, and they were able to train. And that way we are already lagging behind, so it's a very tough task for us. That is one point. The next point is some of the countries, it's a real big question to decide to go to those countries, and how are the immigration laws going to be, quarantine laws, how are we, like we travel, are we in quarantine? When we are back, are we okay to come back in a week and go back to another tournament? How is all this going to work? I mean, see, a schedule, looking at a schedule, it's all encouraging. Yes, we want to get back to the sport, and something is, we can look up to something, but it just seems quite uncertain looking at the schedule. How is this even possible? And the first tournament is Hyderabad Open. We haven't started training yet. I mean, nothing is open here yet. And how is a tournament being held in 2 months? Who's okayed it? These kind of questions are obviously in every athlete's mind.
Okay, it's important you talk about traveling a lot, because I think that's the primary concern right now. I was speaking to Sai Praneeth,
Yes.
your India teammate, last week, and he was saying the same thing, that there is always going to be apprehension traveling. A tour like tennis, which is a global tour, has at the moment not decided anything, because it will not be fair for the tour to resume till every tennis player across the world is free to come to that place where the tournament is being held. You think at the moment the BWF, just as it stands and the way it looks to me, have announced it for the heck of it. They haven't put much thought behind this. The fact that they're saying that, we cannot guarantee if this tournament is going to be held, it's not, it's not helping, right? Yes, the players want a roadmap.
Yes.
They want something to train for, but it should be a proper roadmap with safeguards. At the moment, I don't see any safeguards.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, it has to be explained, or I'm part of the athletes commission, something has to be explained. We're waiting for an explanation. I mean, how is this going to work out? But as of now, it just got announced 2 days back, and as of now we don't have any information. So that's where it stands right now. So we have no clue how this is being taken forward. um, as you said, a roadmap is nice, but now that's not the only thing. There are a lot of concerns for every different country, and you know, the basic thing is the basic thing for any athlete should be, I think, first to get back to training, get back on court. Many people, we haven't got back on court. We're thinking something is going to happen from next week, but so one step at a time. I mean, yeah, that was just my initial thought. I just wanted to get a dialogue from it started on Twitter from everyone. I mean, it's not like
But
we're busy the
you make
whole
an
day.
important point, Kashyap. You are a member of the Athletes Commission of the BWF. Were the players not consulted? Because ultimately, it's not the officials going around the world, it's the players who have to fly around the world. So were players across the world consulted? The Athletes Commission, the top players, the Olympic medalists, were they all consulted?
Uh, no, doesn't look like it has been the case. Yes, we have a head of the Athletes Commission who would have probably sat in the council member meeting, and then which is all happening in the Zoom calls. And so I'm guessing something like that would have happened, or it should come up in the next few days. But on what basis the schedule is out is a question mark. I'm not sure. Right now, I don't have any answers, so I can't comment on it. But yeah, before the announcement, I think we expected some kind of a question mark, at least a dialogue on what is the way to go, because every country is in a different phase, and we are probably the last hit country, and that is why everything is the last which is happening to our country here. So we haven't started training yet. So all the athletes I've seen, Taipei players, Denmark players, Indonesians haven't stopped, China didn't stop. All of them are in their national training centers, and they've been training, and we are already 1.5 months behind them. So yeah, I don't know how this is working out. The schedule, how is it working out? I don't know. And first thing, I don't understand if it's going to even be possible. It is not safe. I think without the vaccine, I don't see it safe, especially like me who have asthma. I don't know how it is going to be safe for me. I have to be really careful. Yeah.
No, and that's a very valid point. That's a very valid point, Kashyap. And the fact remains,
Yeah.
I think every player out there, be it the Carolina Marines, be it the Kashyap, the Saina Nehwals, the Sindhus, the HS Pranay, who's currently way back, nowhere close to the training center, who's not willing to come back till it is not safe to travel. Everyone perhaps would have wanted that you set a roadmap right up till the Olympic Games 2021 with a revised calendar telling exactly when the rankings open, telling exactly what the Olympic qualifying tournaments are. Right now, even that is up in the air. You think that this is the problem here is that, as you said, too much is up in the air instead of something concrete.
Yes. Yes. That's the state right now. Too much is up in the air. I mean, I understand it is a tough ask for BWF as well, but that's the way it is right now. There's no other. I mean, I'm sure they're working on it. They're trying to figure out answers, but releasing the schedule, I thought was, I don't know, amateurish. I don't know. I just didn't get it. Yeah.
Yeah, those are strong words when you call it amateurish, and we're talking about top international bodies here. Because let's face it, the BWF's handling of this entire crisis has left a lot to be desired. I remember even before the Olympics got postponed, Saina, you and other players around the world were very apprehensive having to travel all over the world, especially with the cases of the pandemic rising. And even now, even back then it was uncertainty, even now it's uncertainty. That's not how global sporting bodies should sort of govern.
Yeah. It is a tough situation for everyone. I clearly understand. It has not been seen before, at least in recent times. So I understand the confusion, and I don't know what is the perfect way to handle this. Probably they thought they'll put up a schedule and everyone look forward to it, and then things get started all over the world with badminton. But obviously, and once that is done, then there are a lot of questions, and which we expect to be answered. I think in a few days time, or a week's time, probably we'll get more answers. There is no easy way, but I'm not trying to argue or make a fight here, but I'm just putting up my questions. That's all. That's about it. Yeah.
No, there's no reason to think that you're arguing, because see, ultimately it's Parupalli Kashyap who has to get on a flight and go and play abroad. And ultimately, as you said, without a vaccine, it's a big risk. Let me ask you the question then. One of your first major tournaments is in China in September. Would you and Saina be willing to, in fact, travel to China to play a tournament? Ultimately, you have to
That's the
finances, and you also have to think of safety. There's also not just you. There are people in your families who are aged, and you have to take all of that into account.
Yeah. That's the question we all are asking each other. Okay, how are we going to do this? I mean, it seems very unlikely that we are thinking of traveling to China. I mean, no offense to the country. I mean, we've all enjoyed so many tournaments there, and Indians have had massive results there. China Open has been won by so many players. But at this point of time, I think every country, every individual is thinking that way, and that's a question which came up in a conversation with all the players right now. And then how are we going to think about traveling to China? So yeah, it's all a question mark, man. I mean, no immigration laws or quarantine laws have been passed as well. And I just saw an article about US agreeing to make different rules for athletes traveling for events to US. So yeah, I think the world will follow those kind of guidelines and come up with something.
And also, the question of fairness, you also said that a lot of these countries across the world are opening up. Australia and New Zealand have already opened up. Training is starting in various sports, outdoor sports. In the case of Taiwan, we know that Taizu and all have been training there. Chu Tianchen has been training there. As you spoke about Europe as well. India at the moment is seeing a daily rise in cases. We still don't know if the lockdown is actually going to open on the 31st of May.
Yeah, I mean, I just saw a stat, every 12 days the cases are doubling actually. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not the expert here, but it doesn't seem very promising, and we have to be extremely careful and follow very strict guidelines.
So I was speaking to Sai Praneeth last week, and I asked him how long will it take for him to get ready for competition. There's one thing getting fit, the other thing is getting match sharpness. Considering, say you start training from now, he sort of had an opinion that it could take him 2.5 months to be completely ready. And that also takes into account the fact that, in about a month or so, you will have to start playing against each other on the courts. Do you think that's a sort of a reasonable time limit? But when you look at the BWF calendar, the first tournament starts in 2.5 months. Hyderabad.
Yeah, I think it's a reasonable consideration which he's thought about and said 2.5 months, because usually in the circuit during the circuit, if we feel a little unfit, we get back to say a 4 to 6 week period of training, and then to look forward to a season of 2-3 months. But right now, when we are off for so many days, and also every individual is different, what niggles he's carrying, what weaknesses, unless you start you won't know. And then you can make a guess on how many days it would take a particular person. But 2.5 months is a nice period. That's almost 10 weeks, which is a good period. I think, say suppose I've had long-term injuries, but when I was coming back from an injury, it took around 10 to 12 weeks. So it's a good period where we can get back to tournament mode, and then then you assess yourself and you improve on it. But yes, yeah, 2.5 months would be good.
Since you said that you are on the Athletes Commission of the BWA, what's happening with the Olympic qualification? Because the Olympic qualification period was sort of stopped beginning of March. Still have about 8 to 10 weeks left. All these tournaments have come. All these tournaments, some of them like the India Open, which were part of the original Olympic qualification calendar, all that have been rescheduled till the end of this year in certain cases. But that Olympic qualification criteria, which is missing, which is a lot of players, including the likes of Saina Nehwal, including you, perhaps even Srikanth, you all need that clarity to pick and choose tournaments, whether to go full throttle right now or to wait till till you have a clear idea. You think that is something the BWF as a priority needs to come out with first?
Yeah, I mean, that's a thing that they are discussing quite frequently. I think in the meetings, they had a couple of athletes commission meetings, and that's the thing we're discussing. But the first point was, once a schedule is planned, and then we can think about how to unfreeze the rankings and then think about Olympic qualification. Probably, there is an option of, getting back um, uh, to a to a plan where, where it was left off this year at the start. At the same time, it starts the next year. But it all depends on the federations, which tournaments. Is that the same list of tournaments which are going to happen? Because like the India Open, which was supposed to happen this year, is happening in December according to the schedule. So what happens? Is that a qualification tournament or not? These kind of things haven't been said out yet. I'm sure in a couple of weeks we'll know better. We'll know more things about this topic. So yeah. You're exactly right. We need to know about what how do we plan, and where do we push, and we just can't just play tournaments at random. We'll have to have a plan. So I think in the coming weeks, I think BWF understands this, and they will come up with something. Yeah.
Okay. But I think the problem right now is, Kashyap, talking to you, we're all hoping that, in the next 2 or 3 weeks, the BWF comes up with plans. You would expect sporting bodies to actually come out with much more concrete plans. Talking about
That's why I said amateurish. Yeah.
Talking about concrete plans, India, the Sports Authority of India, has sort of announced SOPs for the gradual resumption of sport. But when I look at those guidelines, I don't see them suited in a sense for elite sport, especially sport like badminton, when they say no contact, don't train in groups, train in isolation. We all know that when you're looking at high performance sport, all that is very, very difficult to do it on your own. You have to have at least 4 or 5 people around you, Kashyap, even for you, when you're on the court, feeding you, training with you, coaches, physios, masseurs, all that, right now is sort of missing from that SOP list.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, you're right, but I know what the Europeans are doing, the Germans and the Danes are doing. 6 people allowed at a particular time. Have decided to at different times they are training, and then only 2 coaches. So I think 10 people at a time at say an hour or a 2 kind of a slot, and that's how they're going about it, which is quite okay. And only 2 players in one court. So even the doubles players are playing, say, only once at a time, and they're not playing actually a doubles match. So these kind of things they are doing, and they're trying to figure out better ways to go ahead. But I think those guidelines we can follow if we discuss on who's deciding these rules. We can discuss, and we can make a schedule for each sport. I'm sure, like me, in other sports they will be having an idea what the other countries are doing. So I think that's the way we can do it. We can follow guidelines, and also badminton is not a contact sport. Each person is on the other side of the court, so it is manageable. But for me to say it's easy, but the person who is actually in charge of that center or the national training center, they have to be extremely careful and cautious on what everyone is doing and how they are going about it. Yeah.
But Kashyap, with all these restrictions in place to begin training, do you think it will sort of affect skill levels?
For sure, it will affect skill levels. But not playing at all to playing a little bit, would be better. So something's better than nothing kind of a concept. So it will, especially if doubles players are not allowed to play doubles, then obviously it affects them. And singles players, probably we can do just few routines together, and say we usually do 1 against 2s, 1 against 3s. If that is not possible, then we'll have to play 1 versus 1 the whole time, which is still okay. I mean, something to start, and which is okay. Yeah.
So perhaps the need of the hour is much more detailed SOPs, and so that we don't have this trial and error process, not just in India, but also abroad. I think every sport is sort of soul searching at the moment, because this way we sort of new sport, Kashyap, the way I've covered you all these years, or the way we've sort of seen sport play out at international level, at the right at the top, the peak elite sport, that's probably not going to be something we can see for the time being. Even cricket or football at the moment, which have sort of come up with guidelines, the Bundesliga, somebody scores a goal and, nobody's celebrating. In cricket, they're saying that, there's going to be no body contact. So it's perhaps the DNA of the sport at the moment is going to change various sports across the world. But I think more importantly, what is needed is clarity. Athletes like you need clarity. And if you don't get clarity, it leads to much more confusion. I think our athletes across the world deserve a bit better, because they've had their sort of dreams knocked away from them, especially with the Olympics getting postponed. Many players are struggling financially because they are professional players, and that's not happening. So thank you so much for your time. Hopefully the global bodies are listening and should consult the athletes. I think that's very important at the moment, consultation with the athletes.
Yes, I agree with what you've said just now. We can have a dialogue on how to start up things locally, because every sport, only those athletes who are playing would know exactly how we could, progress, especially say the top players and the most experienced ones can have a chat with the authorities who are going to, make the rules, and we can come up with something which is manageable for now. Exactly, you're exactly right. And also with the tournaments and with all these things, a little more guidelines on whether we can travel to these countries. It's not about me deciding whether I have to go to China. It's also knowing if am I allowed to do that, first of all. So these kind of things are not sure, and so yeah, very specific guidelines for each sport is required, which is tough in this environment. I'm not saying it's the easiest thing, but something has to get started. Yeah.
Kashyap, thank you so much for your time, and hopefully you're reunited with family as soon as possible.
Thank you.